I live in a basement studio, which, if you knew me, seemed almost impossible to imagine even just up to a year ago. I have this romantic walkout window that I love sitting on the stairs of with my eyes closed and face turned to the sun, listening to the birds and passing neighbors and my playlists. The way that time melts and life harmonizes in that window has made it my personal symbol for this city. I'm new to Cincinnati, and I enjoy it so far. I'm not sure that it's my place, but I'm also not sure I have just one either. I'm used to being new to places. The first time I was moved from sunny Southern California to the cows and corn of Kansas City, Kansas. And as an 8 year old only child, I was surprised to have no say in the matter. I remember my California friends asking if I would live on a farm, and even though I rolled my eyes in doubt, the suburban home we moved to was barely a 5 minute walk from a cow pasture and a cornfield. Over the decade I was there, I came to love and claim Kansas City as my home. It guided me and grew as I grew, and it grew alongside me. It was there I spent years developing as a percussionist, and I discovered my love for driving and wandering and small craft business. Still, I'd known I'd always leave. College was the perfect opportunity to get back to California where I felt I belonged, but the scholarships came from places I had never thought much about and struggled to imagine my life in. Per my parents' instructions, I followed the money paved path to business school in the woods of Indiana, abandoning my hopes for warmer weather and all that we as a family had invested in my musicianship, because those places were expensive and music doesn't make money. I excelled and was well accepted at IU, but I felt at odds with the Big Ten and business school cultures and with myself. So I rebelled as best I could against any other provided safe paths like career fairs and consulting internships. I graduated without a plan, which was terribly nerve wracking for my parents, but it opened me to the serendipitous opportunity for a fellowship that developed entrepreneurial careers in mid sized cities. It seemed like a perfect fit. I accepted a job in St. Louis, which was the logical place for me and my then partner to set up a life, equally distanced from both of our families. I felt really at home in the city's culture and the community I was building in the fellowship, and I loved the short time I spent there before the impact of COVID presented the possibility of adventure abroad as a digital nomad. My ex and I just said yes to Barbados. We knew no one and had never visited, but we bought visas and almost blindly sent the deposit for a rental we found on Marketplace. I was surprised how easy it was and how quickly it happened. Barbados was the place that has felt most like mine since California. The people and culture felt deeply familiar, like a generational memory. I was finally living the life I dreamed, in harmony with land and sea, at peace, at a pace that made sense, and with people that saw me. The dream came to a very abrupt end. Within just a couple of months, two of my grandparents, a great aunt, and a great uncle passed. The relationship was over, our visas expired, our leases abroad and stateside ended, and the grieving and the packing and the moving was just more than I could acknowledge. So I went to Iowa, where nearly all my family is and has been and likely will be, because I was grieving and I was afraid to be on my own in the world. Though I'd never lived there, I'd visited hundreds of times and thought, naturally, the home of my parents and their parents and their parents could be my home too. I was comfortably housed and fed and loved like one would be at home, but I felt like I was at this same point in my life's decision tree, in another place I was new to that I liked a lot less, giving too much to a job for too little in return. So I quit my good marketing job, planless and penniless for a second time, stressing my parents for an umpteenth time, and I worked a serving job while I plotted my escape. Some of my longest friends had moved to Cincinnati in those years after I came back to the US, so with no obligations and endless options, I chose to move somewhere where I already had connections for once. As I've settled in Cincinnati, I had to ask myself why I keep moving. It's not conventionally fun, but it is very revealing, and I do enjoy the inevitable adventure and reflection that comes with it. What's worth packing and carrying? What of me is left in the last place? What's waiting for me in the next place? I know now that a home inherited is just a house until you make it yours. The best fit comes from intuitive, intentional tailoring, and that moving for me is about running with excitement toward community, toward adventure, toward harmony, or whatever I want more of in my life. Maya Angelou said, "You are only free when you realize you belong no place. You belong every place, no place at all. The price is high and the reward is great."